2 weeks ago, I published a video about the Darrell Brooks trial, and the response was overwhelming. I can't believe how many people resonated with what I had to say about the narcissistic traits we saw from Mr. Brooks during that trial. So today, I want to follow that up with an analysis of why there are so many people chiming in the comments about their own experiences and how many people are affected by others with narcissistic personality disorder. But before we get started, will you do me a favor and subscribe to my channel? That's how these videos are going to get in front of more of the people who really need to hear this information. I'm Victoria McCooey. I'm a narcissist divorce coach, a motivational speaker, and the creator of the Reclaim Your Power system. I help people every day who are right where you are, stuck in a toxic marriage to a narcissistic spouse, or already engaged in a contentious divorce from one. So if you haven't already seen the video I published 2 weeks ago, I'm going to link it below. So I hope you go back and look at that one before you watch this video. In that video, I talk about the 6 narcissistic traits I noticed from Darrell Brooks during his trial for the Waukesha Parade Tragedy. Since that video has been published, he's been found guilty. But what I found so amazing was that so many people chimed in the comments. So many people wanted to express their own story, tell their version of what's happened to them in a relationship with a narcissist, either being married to one or the child of one or whatever. Everyone was triggered by this trial. So many people posted in the comments, 395 comments to date, and it's growing every day. I wanted to read some to you to just see the vast number and different ways people were affected by watching this case study of Darrell Brooks while he represented himself. I think you'll find it really interesting to listen to some of these. So here we go. One commenter wrote, "A man once broke me down in every aspect, physically, emotionally, mentally. DB, Darrell Brooks, triggered every emotion I ever had during endless arguments with that man. Thank God I got help." Here's another one. "I swear on my children's lives, I had to stop watching the trial because I was triggered. I hated myself for even saying that or thinking it because it sounds like a dramatic teenager, but it was absolutely true. It's what happened to me, and I was screwed up for the next 2 days." And here's another one. "He tried so hard to pull that judge into a toxic exchange pattern, but she wasn't having it. She was exemplary for how to avoid that. I'm hoping she writes a book to help judges in family courts recognize and deal with these types." Wouldn't that be awesome if there was a whole educational process for judges and lawyers and people in the family court system to learn about these traits and how to handle them and how to see past them and how to see the true victims in these situations and how to recognize the re-victimization that's triggered by their personality, by their outbursts, by the continuing to allow the abuse even in the court setting. And here's another. "It took my poor mother 40 years and us kids for him to die to be free of him. It was very real." Here's one from a mother-in-law of a narcissist. "My abusive ex-son-in-law, apart from his criminal record, is almost Brooks' personality double. Even as a mom-in-law, I had PTSD watching Brooks." And here's one from a man dealing with a female narcissist. "I've been with a female narcissist. Now I'm on Prozac for mental depression. Only those who have been with a narc would understand how much they damage you and how real they are." Here's a really sad one from the child of narcissistic parents. "I was reared by narcissists. It's the only way I've ever known. It must be nice to see the world in a different way." Tragic. Here's one from someone going through a custody battle currently with a narcissist. "This trial was triggering and validating, so I watched a lot of it. It brought back memories of my 2 years of custody hearings so far. Believe me, it can go on and on and on because of all the things you see in this Darrell Brooks trial. They love the attention. They love the chaos. They love the drama. They love the whole court system, and that they feel like they're getting something over on it, that they're winning, that they're smarter than everyone else. They see it as a forum for them to display how brilliant they are, they think, and how powerful they are. So they will drag it out as long as they possibly can. They are not incentivized to end any kind of trial or court hearing. It's exactly what we saw in the Darrell Brooks trial. That man was not incentivized to finish that trial. All he had to look forward to was life in prison. So he wanted to drag that out as long as he could. Here's another one from the child of a narcissist. I was disgusted because I grew up around this behavior. So to even watch this was like, here we go again. Here's one that I can really relate to, and a lot of my clients can probably relate to this one really closely too. I watched this trial from start to finish. I am almost 2 years out of a very long relationship with a man who is exactly like this. The more he escalated, the more I was triggered. When he did that stare down with the judge, the way his lips and eyes were, I have seen that look on many occasions. Believe me, I've seen that look on many occasions. I know my clients are always talking about that look. That is the thing they can throw at you and have you completely unravel. It's so triggering. A lot of times I see this happen in a court setting when the narcissist will throw that look at the victim and no one else in the courtroom sees it. But the victim is totally triggered by it and starts acting irrationally, seemingly irrationally, because nobody else understands what is going on. But it's the look that they know they can control you with that look. So my hope is that by reading some of these comments and helping you understand that you're not alone, you'll get the sense that you can get out of this situation. There are people all over the world. There are so many people who have been in relationships with this type of personality, and they have lived to tell about it. They have left it behind and they have moved on. So no matter how enmeshed you think you are, no matter how deep in the relationship that you think you've gotten, no matter how many years, how many children, how many whatever, you can get out of this very toxic, abusive situation. You are not alone. You're not the first one to ever be on the receiving end of a person like this. So I hope this gives you some hope, some validation, and some motivation to get the help you need, to get some support, to start doing the inner work that it takes to be strong enough to leave a situation like this. If you need help, I am here for you. You can book a call with me. There will be a link in the description below. I would love to help you get to the other side of this. Did you find this information helpful? I sure hope you did. If you liked this video, will you please give it a thumbs up? And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. I've linked a couple of other videos here that I think you might also like, so I hope I see you in the next video.